Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back everybody for another YouTube video. Today we've got a really interesting daily cryptocurrency market video lined up for you. You know, in these market updates, we don't just cover the crypto market, but the markets at large. You know, there's a correlation, we all really became macro people or certainly this bear market. And actually, it's something we should have always been paying attention to. I speak for myself personally. You know, I've been in the markets for 6 years now, been a trader for a little bit less than that. And really became a kind of macro analyzer only a year or so ago. A little bit longer than that. Actually, largely what was going on in other realms other than crypto, I had the blinkers on, didn't really impact things. And I think the more I've studied the macro and really had to look into it, and we've been doing it on a daily basis on this channel, the more I realize just how messed up things are. And that's why this is going to be an interesting video. We'll look at Bitcoin, we'll look at where we think we're going, right? You know, we've really laid this plan out. Actually, this year we played the market beautifully. Last year we played it pretty well. And ultimately we're expecting continuation. You know, we bought back into the market at the start of the year, and we think that this is largely what's in front of you, the route that we're taking. We call the head and shoulders. You know, there was lots of skepticism on this pullback. I run a Patreon, and it's a huge benefit being involved in that Patreon because you're with a community of like-minded individuals that are all sort of working to achieve the same thing. And of course, it does help to give regular updates on there. So if you want to join that, there's a link in the description. But this is where I think we're going. And we've looked at this a lot. So we're going to do some really interesting things in this video. We're going to be covering some of Yellen's comments yesterday. You know, Secretary Yellen is holding an unannounced emergency meeting today. This was yesterday with all the top financial regulators. It's not a good situation that the US economy is in. Lots of other economies are in a similar situation. But the Fed at this point, I think, are telling some porkies. You know, I really do. And actually, right now and last year, and just bear with me here, guys, whilst I go through this, we saw markets get driven by interest rates, right? Interest rates were going up because inflation was high, and it's the tool that they use to bring it back down. You know, the main statement you need to remember from Jerome Powell was we are actively trying to bring demand in line with supply. So they're going to kill demand, and we've seen that, and we've seen them do it excellently, by restricting liquidity or rediverting it into the debt markets, not stimulating and putting out money, and of course the market's sold off in accordance with that. Well, what's going on right now is complete contradiction. Okay, because the Fed are now doing the very thing that fueled inflation in regards to, this is the M2, US M2 money supply. We've seen markets sell off. Let's pop Bitcoin on there. Let's pop the S&P on there just to be quick. In accordance, and they front ran this, by the way, and bear in mind that when I look at the call that we made in January, you know, you get, there was technical reasons, fundamental reasons, and a number of other reasons to get back into the market. You know, that may be the market bottom. Can't say that with 100% certainty right now because it's yet to be proved. But it was one hell of a call. And you can see that the M2's gone down. Jerome Powell restricting demand. And the market's front run that and sold off. And now we've had them actually propel this to the upside. Remember, this is only looking at January. Well, there's been more continuation of this in both... and we can see that with Lynn Alden's tweet here. You can see sharp decline. And they've actually raised 2/3 of what they took off the table last year, which is what markets sold off in accordance with. So this is why markets are rallying. And even though the Fed, after doing the 25 basis points, and Jerome Powell's speech came out and said, no, we're committed to fighting inflation for you. They don't give a damn about you. This game has been going on for too long, the monetary game. And it's going to come to an end in our lifetimes. It needs to. And it's at the point where it should have already. We should not be accepting this. Because they are screwing you. I'm going to play you a few things here. We're going to look at some comments. You know, this was Senator Kennedy asking Janet Yellen, is Biden planning on taxing the US citizens to make $4.7 trillion? So you're getting killed with inflation. They're up in taxes. They did it in the UK with capital gains, by the way, right? So you can no longer, it was £12,000 that you used to be able to claim off with your capital gains, which was great, by the way. You could really utilize that all legally. They're now changing it to 4 and then 3. So not only have they killed you with inflation, they're killing you with higher taxes. And now they're killing you with higher interest rates, which means you have a lot more debt to pay. You're getting squeezed. You're like a lemon that's getting squeezed to make some lemonade for these guys. It's crazy what's going on. And the contradictory nature of what's actually taking place right now, it's like the Fed are in sort of, and the government is in crowd control mode, right? If you look at the emergency meeting, Yellen gave some comments. I'll read the first little bit. What you need to know today. US Treasury Janet Yellen said yesterday the federal government is prepared to take emergency action to back up regional banks, just as it did for Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. Her comments struck a different tone from the day before when Yellen asked by a senator if the Treasury is considering guaranteeing all bank deposits without congressional approving. She replied, it is not. So now they're saying they are. They don't have a choice. You cannot let those banks fail. Otherwise, you completely bankrupt everyone that has money in those banks, which is the citizens. They need to do that, and this is why they've done what they've done with the balance sheet. And you can see the M1. Remember, this is only to January. We still have the next 2 months to be added on. Look at the Bank of Japan. This thought, okay, we'll try it. And the Bank of Japan is back at where it started, or all other central banks started Q2. The system that we're in will die, and it will die in a Venezuelan-style money on the floor end, because it has to get there. You add more and more debt, you need more and more money to pay that debt. The second you stop and turn that money tap off, everything clogs up. They tried this. I actually, and I was totally wrong about this. Any market analyst out there that's worth their salt in terms of listening to will accept being wrong and deal with the consequences. So I didn't think they'd even get to 2.5% in terms of getting the Fed funds there, because ultimately they tried that back in 2018, 2019. It caused the repo market to blow up, or I should say clog up. They tried it again, and look at the result. System's on its knees. You can see it across the board. Deutsche Bank, and you had Jim Cramer coming out saying, no, it's a good business. I mean, he's like the Grim Reaper for stocks, really, isn't he? Deutsche Bank came out and they said, Jim Cramer, Deutsche Bank insurance swaps went through the roof. Same thing happened with Credit Suisse. Same thing happened with a number of others. Now, I think you've got this window of opportunity before things implode for crypto, because I think Bilaji is on the money. I think there's no way, and he's also said himself, he doesn't think it's going to take 90 days, but he's absolutely spot on with what's taking place here. And actually, Bitcoin, gold, these things are all a hedge against that, and it's worth. And anybody listening right now, and this is not financial advice, but friendly advice, if you are 100% in the system, and I'm talking about the fiat system, please, 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 it could be even an extremely small amount. Have something outside of it that if the shit really does hit the fan, you've got some value in. Because we've heard things like UBI, we've heard things like, these CBDCs and stuff like that, how they'll probably get you, and apologies for this being a ranty video, guys. Like I say, we've very much covered the price analysis, and we have continued to do so. We've been very spot on this year. Ultimately, we will get things wrong, We'll actually look to accumulate more crypto at some point. I do run a Patreon. If you guys want to sort of, and those guys have been killing it and very, very proud of everybody that's in that. If you guys want to get on board with that, feel free to hit the link in the description, try it out for a month. But, there's so much going on, and essentially you're being largely lied to in regards to, what's going on, and the fact that they're trying to be tough and fight QT. They know they can't fight inflation. They've not got the means to fight inflation. The only way they can fight inflation is with a demand-destroying event like March 2020. Look at this. So to the markets, I am long. I'm long risk. And that's it. If you're not a crypto guy, stock market. Although US stock market, I think there could be a little bit of overlap with banks. But I'm long risk. I'm long things that are outside the system. Because it's just contradictory right now and doesn't make sense. And they're doing the very thing that fueled inflation and fueled asset prices going up and so on and so forth. Now, today. So you've got to be, understand what's going on here. Even though they're still doing, and that's likely the last rate hike they'll get. I think so. The yield market's definitely telling us it's going, yeah, these guys are bluffing, to say the least. And I'm not even sure I like the yield market doing this. This is scary. How events change. By the way, we actually called this with the RSI divergence. RSIs are great, by the way, guys, because they don't give you an entry, but they tell you, look, something's going to change soon. Events end on volatility. Look at how this started. Volatility. And big price moves. And this is ended. The dollar, I think, is in trouble. Although I like that. I'd long that. I like a double bottom. But I'm going to get off topic. So I think Bitcoin's very much on this journey. We've set it out. We've covered it to death. And we're going to continue to do so. And ultimately, we're looking to make some real money out of this. But there's a lot of contradictory nature going on. The fact that the Fed is, and I want to play this. This is, and the last thing I'll leave you guys on is that the Fed acting very tough. You know, we're trying to bring inflation down for you guys. Well, why is Biden just trying to tax everyone significantly more? I don't care about you. Why have they upped your mortgage rate so that you're now paying nearly double in some cases? I bought a house pre-COVID. Or during that. And actually, if I was to get the same kind of deal on that today, it's significantly higher. So let's go ahead and play this, and then I'll live and leave you.
Isn't it a fact that the president's proposed budget proposes $4.7 trillion in new taxes?
It does propose significant additional taxes, yes.
4.7 trillion?
Something like that, yes.
Okay.
I mean, come on. You know, you're there to be extracted from. This is the game. They need to keep you where you're at. You're like a lemon being squeezed. And I'm in the same boat. You know, I pay my taxes. Everyone should pay their taxes. Otherwise, you go to jail. It's not a good, outlook, really, is it? So that's really all I've got for you guys. I don't want to go on for too much longer because ultimately it is a Saturday. I want you guys to have a good weekend. Try to take a bit of time off the markets. Unless, of course, you trade over the weekend, which is just... And I've found in my experience, although maybe a short time frame scalper would tell me differently, that trading over the weekends just isn't worth it at the moment for crypto, because you don't necessarily, maybe on a Sunday going into the markets, but yeah. Anyway, I've rambled on for long enough, guys. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Please, like and a comment, guys. It really does help me out with the algorithm. Gets this content to more and more people, and I really do think it the wider the audience or the broader the audience, the better. Not just for myself, but for people who are trying to learn about these markets and crypto and where it finds itself within everything. All I've got for you in this one, guys. You enjoyed the content, like, always appreciate it as a comment, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gents.